We're going to make our body glue video and some do's and don'ts about body putty, or body glue, I should say. Uh, we're getting storms here, repetitive storms, thunder. You're probably going to hear that in the background. The winds are light. When we are getting a wind, we're getting hot gushes of wind, and I am a little distracted. Okay, that is a car. Okay, remember what I told folks? They use this for a drag strip out front here, and it's not even funny. Like I said, one day I'm going to have one in the living room or the bedroom. Hopefully, it ain't going to hurt me too bad. Okay, let's get to our video. Where you want to use a continuous bead of body glue is like here, where I'm going to put the the inner rocker. Okay, I am sorry, I'm distracted with stuff. Okay, even here, when you're doing a pinch weld, let me help you out with pinch welds. Yeah, Orange Cat, it's coming along. Orange Man bad. See these? Okay, don't throw them away, because body glue doesn't stick to these. But body glue sticks to these. And if you use clamps and you want to do your pinch weld, make sure the glue is between these and your tool, because you might be cutting your tool off your work. Okay, so now if you're going to do other repairs, like if something's moving around, say like these seals, like I'm trying to do these seals, okay, these upper seals here, this one's glued, okay, the other one is torn at two places. Now I have a dual process to fix that, because that's why I'm telling you the customer needs some body seam seal and different other things like that. Okay, you don't want to use a continuous bead, because that's stuff that you might later on want to replace. Okay, I don't know what his use for this truck's going to be. I mean, it's a behemoth. I don't think it's going to be a daily driver. I think it's going to be a weekend warrior type of worker type of truck, like my shop truck is, and stuff like that. When you need to go for something, plywood, something heavy, okay. Really, he needs inner rockers, and he should have mud flaps, because when you have these big old tires, let me show you that. You're on a tripod. You don't realize how much water that throws in rainstorms, especially like heavy rains like we're having now. Okay, so when you're gluing stuff that might eventually have to come apart or replace, you're not going to use a continuous bead. Okay, you are going to waste the glue, and not to mention you're going to create yourself a friggin' nightmare if you're going to try to get it apart. So I put little dots, and I use yellow tape, the auto body tape, yellow stuff, green stuff, and one of these days there's going to be a real tragedy, especially since this dollar store is here. Anyway, that's a horn. I don't know if you can hear it. Sometimes you can hear things in this, like there was loud music the other day in the other video. Look, there's things you're going to have to take back apart, but you want them anchored, and you can just do that with little dabs, because these tips, they're getting expensive. Okay, even if you get the cheapos on the inner screen, okay, these tips come off. Okay, this is the same product. I'm an advocate for this product, and it gives you a lot of spec, a lot of product information, but you only get 2 tips. And I wish they didn't do that. I wish they gave you more. Okay, if you are just gluing on a quarter panel, this is structural. They call it the multi-panel, but it's the same as the structural. It has the same spec. That's the other thing with being literate, reading the directions. This stuff is online, it's posted, but this is the number that I use. It's a long working, so I'm not going to go through as many tips. The faster the setting, the more tips you're going to go through, especially if you're doing a multi-step process like this. This truck is specifically a multi-process. Okay, it's going through phases. Like the next thing is these doors have to come off. This door has to get repaired. I was going to replace it with a door that I have, but the door went missing, along with a couple other things. So This is the 3M, the body tape. Okay. See, I don't know if you can see it's 3M, but it has that yellow rim in there. 3M. It's gone to hell with a lot of other products. It's just about useless. Okay, I pity the people. At least when you get these the vents for the window vent visors things, you know, to keep the water out and stuff. Because I love them on all my trucks. Okay, I have them on almost every vehicle I own. I love them. The tape you get with them is made in Germany. It's a 3M product, and I believe it's called Semtech. And Semtech stuff, their stuff is good. The 3M American-made stuff here is garbage. Okay, I used to use. I don't know what a spray glue is. I have it. It's a Permatex. I think I left it over there on the workbench. I'm not sure where I left that stuff. Let me go check, because I wanted to show you. I do own it, but I'm not going to use it because it doesn't hold, and especially in the heat, in the humidity, in the rain, and the cold, it just no longer has a. There's no way to get it bond, because I used to do upholstery. I know how to do upholstery. I just picked it up watching other people do it and stuff like that. But there's a lot of products now, they're garbage. You just can't use them. Well, that auto body glue, this stuff puts JB Weld to shame. And JB Weld has about a 7-year life, and they show people repairing engine blocks with JB Weld. You know what? I don't care if you're repairing a broken pet door. I don't care if you're gluing your old lady's purse strap. This stuff never quits. And I believe it has, I think they said it's 21,000 pounds per square inch strength. It's structural, and it's really not rated for longevity because it really doesn't expire. And these newer vehicles, you can't weld the steel. Welding is getting to be passé. I only have, and that's why I really need a heavier welder. The welder I have was really for auto body, for metals and stuff, but this stuff has really made the auto body, the light gauge, the light steel welders, it's kind of made them obsolete, because a weld invites rust. This stuff invites no rust, and if, like I said, if you seam a panel with it, this is called seaming a panel. When you go down where you're going to put your inner rocker, and you're gonna flare it up and do that stuff, that metal's all rusty. You're not going to weld to it, the metal underneath. And this is going to be nice and solid, where it's not going to get permeated with water. So if you do your job for your customer with your inner rocker or yourself, okay, you're not going to have that moisture penetration and that rust. As a matter of fact, you can drill yourself a little hole and just seal it back up with body seam sealer, and you can put, you know, your rust agent in there, your wool wax, your RPs. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Even motor oil. Some people use old motor oil. I only do that on old garbage trucks. Like my shop truck is, you know, long past her prime, 400,000 miler on her second, third motor. You don't have to go out of your way for that stuff, okay? But in the same process, why I tell people when I'm doing these videos is, I'm an end consumer of these products, okay? I'm a lot calmer today. Nothing has gone wrong, but I'm having a lot that has gone wrong in the last 2 years with the quality of this stuff. And not to mention clone parts, fake spark plugs. I've had enough of it. I really have. And then they make like Bilstein tried to make an ass out of me. Oh, the bushings aren't covered, and you know, they're a brand new shock absorber, and the bushings are garbage. I'm hand tightening with 2 little fingers, and the bushings are splitting out, and I'm an idiot. And you know, it's a lifetime product. I don't care if a crackhead bought that truck. It has a Bilstein shock, and you have a lifetime warranty. You should be honoring it, Bilstein. So, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. I like a truck with a lot of new parts on it and stuff with a good warranty. Because sometimes the reseller of the vehicle will actually put that information in the glove box. Because like I said, I used to recommend Bilstein shocks, but not no more. Not what they did to me. And like I said, I had to thank Summit. So this body glue, anything broke that really can't be fixed, even black plastic and different things like fairing panels and different stuff on your car, trim panels that come loose, that's where the faster setting epoxies come in, you can use them, put a piece of tape on it, and within 15-20 minutes it's on there. It's not coming back off, because a lot of these, especially the Jeeps, the Compass, I think the Patriot, the other ones, those the moldings, they come apart. There's a lot of vehicles, especially the older 70s vehicles. You might have like a perfect vehicle. Now the problem is that the molding or something might warp from the sun or from the sagging, and it's a little hard to get it right back in place. But if you work with that glue and kind of work it as you know what I mean, do it in the shade, that the glue, as the glue's drying, you can actually kind of straighten that it's actually looking like something again. It's really hard to get an old warped panel or body molding back where it's supposed to be, but it keeps it looking from like a complete piece of crap. Okay, there's other many uses that you're going to come across. Say where you don't want to weld a bolt to a washer, and you can actually still tap that stuff if you get some in the threads, and it'll still hold it permanently. It's good stuff. It's just you got to put your mind to its uses, okay? And like I said, there's things household-wise that break. I had it's the top to a crock pot. It's got that plastic knob, and the plastic, from the heat of the crock pot's still perfectly good, but that knob came out of the metal, and it was just, it, from the heat, it just expanded. Well, I put that body glue on that sucker, and I'm still using it 3 years later. And I'm, like I said, it's a crock pot. I use it. I make my ribs in there. I make my pork chops, my pork barbecue and stuff. I use it quite a bit, especially during the spring and the summer, because it's summertime foods and meals. Has 1,000 uses. Say your mud flap. You have a mud flap and you don't have one of those little plastic plugs or whatever. You just, the fast set stuff, you can just put it on there. So I recommend body glue. Has 1.5 million uses. It's just the person that's using it, you have to think that it's stronger than a bolt. It has a tensile strength. It's something that you need to think about, and especially when you're doing body panels, because like I said, this doesn't invite rust, and within a couple hours it's set up. You're not there forever welding. Oh, okay, think about the time and the labor when people make pocket welds. Because the proper process, if I was to weld this with a welder, would be to drill a hole and make a pocket weld so I can weld it to the other panel, the inner rocker. I'm not going through all that labor, okay? The labor pains I am is ordering this shit and waiting for it to get here. And one of my allies that's not too bad on shipping, and you don't have to wait a long time, and they have they have a pretty good array of vintage paints, base coats, especially GM red, like my son's truck, and I did my Ford with it because it's similar to that Ford red. Do yourself a favor. Go call Clark's Wholesale. Okay, they're out in Oklahoma, and they have another place, I think, up near Illinois or Michigan. There's two of them, but they sell paints and stuff, especially vintage colors. You can't go wrong with them, especially their prices, and it's good stuff. As I said, there are things I recommend. So the natives are starting to get loud. I'm going to end my video, and I just wanted to let people know that auto body glue has many more facets to it than you might even think of. And you need to be inventive. Think about what you're going to do the night before. I always told you that. Sometimes people bring something here and they're in a rush, and sometimes they leave with it, because I want to think about a day, sometimes maybe two, how I'm going to do the job. I'm not lazy. It's just that sometimes I always like to build a better mousetrap. You're just not going to be stupid and rush into a job. Okay, so remember, there's fast sets, there's structural, and then there's the multi-panel. It's the same as the structural adhesive. Okay, but if you're going to do one job and you want it done fast, okay, you can actually get a smaller gun. I have a bigger gun. Speaking of things that disappeared, my bigger 3M gun disappeared. This, I think I got it on Scamazon, this one. And this gun's not too bad. Not too bad quality. But my other gun disappeared, and it kind of upset me. And I don't like buying the smaller tubes because of what it is. They're just smaller. Now, if I bought the larger, which is probably about that much taller than this one, okay, if I bought that, okay, I would probably just needed tips. But here, when you're working small jobs, a lot of times it demands this. I don't want to buy a big tube of that stuff for 200 and some odd dollars plus the tips. I just don't want to do it. I just rather buy 2, maybe 3 of these. So you have to really think. If you're a large commercial shop, they're going to have the bigger gun. Most of them, they're not going to work with this size. But if you do 1 or 2 jobs like this, like I do a year, okay, this is perfectly fine, and you're just going to have to, order more. And as I said, this job is just demanding what it is. Because like I said, a lot of the stuff underneath there, just once I got to cutting it out and doing what I wanted to do with it, well, it's no longer there. So you're not going to weld to stuff like that. This is your answer. This is your secret, okay? Because a lot of you guys are repairing that rusty old stuff. Some of that stuff, it's pretty far gone, but it's not too far gone to salvage if you use your head. This stuff is your answer. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching my videos, okay? And Orange Cat's here. And remember what I said about like some of them 3M products. 3M is just not what it used to be anymore. I'm afraid for Christmas time to buy Scotch tape because it might not even stick anymore. I don't know what's going on with 3M, but as I said, once this globalism shit started, and especially since China went in Biden's pocket that they can basically do what the F they please, and there's no standard of the industry. It's a really bad thing to do, because just like you folks, I'm an end user of those products too. I use them on my own stuff, my own projects, my own vehicles, and it is terrible. It is terrible to do something like that. All right, I gotta go. It's beer 30. Time to make dinner. I got laundry in there to do. I got a watermelon I want to cut up. I'm normal too. I have another life, and we've had really atrocious storms all day. I'm glad it finally cleared up, and I wanted to get the body glue video out there. That stuff, once you learn how to use it, and once you learn to park your welder, that you're going to be done so much faster with this stuff in so much less time. It takes long enough to fabricate those panels. Okay, it really does. Okay, so think about valuing your time, your customers' money, what you're billing them for, and give it some thought. Okay, give body glue some thought. And if anybody needs any feedback, if you got a question, hit the comment section. I'm there for you. Okay, I do this stuff too, not just you. But if you have an ingenious idea, hey, I'd like to share it with me. I'd like to hear it, and I'll let you know if I think it'll work out. I mean, I'm good for opinions. Okay. What I try to do, as I said, YouTube's a good information platform. It is. When we can share information, and you can actually maybe talk to somebody real that actually does this stuff. And if I have an honest answer, I will give you an honest answer. If I don't, I don't. Okay? That's the way I am. Thanks.